How Brits actually handle complaints. A waiter brings the wrong meal. The train is delayed again. The neighbour's music shakes the walls at midnight. In many countries, someone might immediately speak up. In Britain, something different often happens. The complaint still exists, but it travels through quieter, subtler routes. Politeness softens frustration, humour disguises irritation, and indirect language replaces confrontation. To outsiders, it can feel confusing. Are people upset, or are they just being polite? The truth is fascinating. Understanding how Brits actually handle complaints reveals a social system built on restraint, signals, and quiet negotiation that many visitors never notice. 1. The complaint that starts with an apology. A classic British complaint often begins with something that sounds backwards, an apology. You might hear, "Sorry, but I think this might be the wrong order," even when the customer clearly did nothing wrong. The apology isn't about accepting blame. It's a politeness strategy used to keep the conversation calm and non-confrontational. This style appears everywhere in everyday life across the UK, from cafes to retail counters to phone calls with customer support. The tone stays respectful, and the complaint arrives gently rather than forcefully. For outsiders, this can sound strange at first, but for many Brits, it keeps social interactions smooth. The issue still gets addressed. It just begins with a polite cushion before the real complaint appears. 2. The polite language that hides frustration. British complaints often rely on language that sounds mild but carries a clear message. Instead of saying something is terrible, someone might say, "It's not ideal." Instead of openly criticizing, they may say, "That's a bit disappointing." These phrases soften the tone while still expressing dissatisfaction. Understatement is a well-known feature of British communication. It allows people to signal frustration without escalating the situation. Imagine a hotel guest discovering their room isn't ready. Rather than raising their voice, they might calmly say, "I was just wondering if the room might be available soon." The wording remains gentle, but the expectation is obvious. And sometimes the calmest sentences carry the strongest complaints. 3. The quiet power of customer service channels. While Brits may appear restrained in person, they often become far more precise when using official complaint systems. Emails, online forms, and customer service departments are common ways people raise problems. Companies across the UK receive large numbers of formal complaints through these channels every year. A delayed train, faulty product, or service problem may lead to a carefully written message explaining the issue step by step. For example, many UK rail operators run compensation programs where passengers can claim refunds if trains are significantly delayed. Travellers regularly submit these claims online. In public, the reaction may appear calm. Behind the scenes, the complaint can become very detailed and carefully documented. 4. The famous British moan among friends. If you want to hear the full complaint, wait until the situation is over. Among friends, co-workers, or family, frustration can suddenly become much more open. In Britain, this is often jokingly called having a moan. Someone might leave a restaurant quietly, then say outside, "That service was awful." These conversations often mix irritation with humour. A delayed train becomes a shared story. A frustrating customer service call turns into a joke at the pub later. In these moments, complaining becomes less about confrontation and more about social bonding. Shared frustration often creates shared laughter, and those small conversations become part of everyday British life. 5. The strategic use of humour. Humour is one of the most recognisable tools in British complaining. Instead of direct criticism, someone might turn the problem into a joke. If a bus arrives very late, a passenger might smile and say, "Perfect timing, as always." The humour communicates dissatisfaction while keeping the atmosphere light. This style appears in workplaces, social settings, and casual conversations. It allows people to express annoyance without turning the moment into an argument. British television and comedy frequently build humour around everyday frustrations like transport delays, long queues, or confusing instructions. The complaint still exists, but in Britain, sometimes the joke delivers the message more clearly than anger ever could. 6. The art of the raised eyebrow. Not every complaint in Britain uses words. Like in many cultures, subtle body language can communicate frustration. A raised eyebrow, a sigh, or a quick glance exchanged between strangers can signal that something isn't quite right. Picture a crowded train during rush hour. If someone plays loud music without headphones, nearby passengers may simply exchange knowing looks. No one says anything out loud. But the shared reaction makes the message clear. These small social signals are part of everyday communication across the UK, especially in public places where people often avoid direct confrontation. Sometimes silence says, "Enough." 7. The calm but firm formal complaint. When a problem becomes serious, British politeness does not mean the issue disappears. Instead, complaints often become structured and formal. People write emails or letters explaining exactly what happened and what solution they expect. Across the UK, many industries have established complaint procedures and consumer protection systems designed to handle these issues. The message usually follows a familiar pattern: explain the situation, describe the impact, and request a resolution. The tone stays calm, but the intention is clear. Politeness continues, but so does persistence. Because behind the measured language is a quiet determination to fix the problem. 8. Knowing when silence says enough. Sometimes the most powerful complaint is simply walking away. If customers have a poor experience, they may not argue in the moment. Instead, they quietly choose not to return. A disappointing restaurant, unreliable service, or frustrating store experience may lead people to find alternatives next time. Businesses in the UK pay close attention to reviews and customer feedback because losing repeat customers can matter more than one loud complaint. This approach reflects a wider social preference for avoiding unnecessary confrontation. Of course, communication styles vary between individuals, regions, and generations across Britain. But often the quiet decision not to come back says everything. British complaints rarely arrive through shouting or confrontation. They travel through politeness, humour, understatement, and quiet persistence. To outsiders, it may appear calm, but the message is still there. Once you understand these signals, you begin noticing them everywhere, and everyday life in Britain suddenly makes much more sense. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.